I'm here with Amir Zoghi, and he is a very interesting character. Amir used to run a lot of the seminars, the motivational seminars, the ones that you go to, you pay lots of money, and you come away hyped up and not so good in a week or two. And then Amir sort of had a bit of an insight, and well, I'll let you explain what it is you do now and how it came about.
Well, I used to go and promote speakers from around the world into the Australian market. And the reason I used to promote speakers was because I was on a journey seeking truth. I was on a journey looking for deeper purpose and the meaning of life. I was always on that journey from the age of 12. I used to question things and go, why does it have to be that way? Anyway, so I just got to a point where I realized that no one could give me the answer that I was looking for. I mean, I got a lot of insights. I got different pieces of the puzzle of life, if you like. But I just got to a point where I was just like, there's no other teacher. Like, I would promote one teacher and then I'll get what I needed to get. Then I would promote another teacher and then I'll get what I needed to get. And I realized that everything that I was learning had a temporary result. It had a temporary outcome. So being unsatisfied, I let go of my company. I sold it. I sold it within 3 weeks. I just decided that, you know, I was on a search for something more. I didn't know what I was searching for. There was no logic there. I didn't know what I was doing. I just felt like I needed to go on this journey, and I realized that I'm going to find the answer within myself. I realized that all those other different pieces of the puzzle that I got are not going to click together and reveal the picture to me until I get that last piece. And that last piece can only be revealed to me within myself, by myself. You know, I'm the only one who can find that. So I went on this journey of what I call self-realization or self-actualization, where before I was on the journey of self-development. It was all about fixing, improving, and changing things.
That's a good definition there. There's the journey of self-development and the journey of self-actualization is what we call it.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And you had a similar experience to what we're doing with the Life Change Experiment. Although you sold your business, you spent a long time not committing to anything, didn't you? And
yeah, absolutely. Because when I sold my business, I didn't want to do something out of need. I wanted to do something because I loved to, because I was inspired to. And although I was very good at business, I was doing a lot of the business because, you know, it was bringing me status, credibility, you know, financial security, and you know, all those kind of things, you know, nice things in life. But I didn't want to do it out of that. So I remember other business opportunities came my way, and I was good in business, so people would come and say, hey, why don't we do this business idea? And even one of the deals that came across my table, or my lounge room, because I didn't have an office anymore, I even went, yeah, all right, let's do that. And 2 weeks into it, I just said, what am I doing? I'm just doing the same thing. So I did nothing for about 6 to 9 months, Geoff. I did absolutely nothing. I just sat in parks, went for walks in the mornings, and just pondered and wondered and questioned, and I was just seeking, and I didn't want to do anything out of need. And then one day my brother said to me, why don't you speak? And I never wanted to be a speaker before. It's not what I wanted to do. And he goes, you know, when you speak, there's a lot of inspiration there. And people have said that to me in the past. I said, why don't you speak? But in this time, when my brother said, why don't you speak? Right there I went, yeah, it wasn't a need. It wasn't like, I want to do that because I've got to make bread and butter. I wanted to do it because I love to. And in that space of 6 to 9 months, I ran out of money. You know, I got eviction notices, and, you know, I had to, threatened credit cards were getting defaulted, you name it. I ran out of money because I was living a great lifestyle, and then 9 months later you got no money left, or don't have that income. I was making $240,000 a year to making zero. You know, it's but I still felt like, no, I don't care what happens in the world outside of me. I don't care if it all falls apart. I still felt drawn, and it didn't make logical sense, but I just kept going down that path.
One of the things that really fascinates me with your story is that you were brave enough to take that leap and to go, okay, I need to pay bills and I need to pay creditors, but I'm not going to compromise. Well, how did you do that? People are out there going, well, I'm too afraid to take the leap. I'm too afraid to live my dream or go where my intuition tells me because I've got all these responsibilities. What do you say to them?
For as long as you're doing something out of need, then more will be given to you to do out of need. You know, you're either doing something out of love or you're doing something out of fear. There's no other forces. When you're doing something because you need to, you're doing it out of fear. And when you're acting from fear, then more of things that you're fearful about will come into your life. When you're acting out of love, then more things that you love. And love doesn't have an agenda, by the way. People go, oh, I love to do this, but really in the back of their mind they're thinking to themselves, oh, it's going to give me more status, credibility, it's going to give me more security. It doesn't have an agenda. Love doesn't have an agenda. So when you're acting out of love, and I'm talking about that unconditional love where it's no agenda, then more love will come into your life. I remember a story that once got shared with me, and it was about the American Indian. You know, he was sitting around the campfire with all the little baby Indians, and they're sitting down there, and he's telling stories about how he's got these two wolves that are continuously fighting within his body. And one wolf is fighting for the things that he loves, and the other wolf is fighting for the things that it fears. And the little children said to the chief Indian, well, which wolf wins? He goes, the one I feed. You know, so sure, I understand, I completely understand that there's things in life that we need to do, you know, to keep us secure, to keep us in survival mode, and you know, I understand that. But somewhere along the line, you're going to have to draw the line in the sand and go, I want to choose the life that I love, not the life that I need. Somewhere along the line, you have to do that. And if you don't, then you just keep doing what you need. We keep doing what you need, and sure, you may have material possessions or status or credibility in your life, but then you'll need that, because without that, then who will you be? Who would you be without, you know, your material possessions? Who would you be without your status? So you become in need of that, and then you become a slave to all your things instead of. So when you're doing things in your life you don't need to anymore, then you're enjoying them for what you love. You know, you can have the love in your life because the needs.
Okay, so let's say someone's stuck in you know, your normal fear. They're getting up in the morning to go to work because they have to pay the bills, to live in the house, and to buy the things and pay the credit card, and all the usual stuff that everybody out there is conditioned. After all, that's what happens. Conditioned to do. What do you do to break that cycle? I mean, it's one thing to say live in love, and it's another thing to actually physically take a step forward, to take that leap off of the board. Now, you've done it and I've done it. What do you say is the essence of it?
When you're ready, then you'll do it. When you're not ready, then you won't do it.
So don't force it is your...
As I said, you get to a point where you have to draw the line in the sand, where you feel like you're actually literally jumping off a cliff. Okay. I mean, you don't physically do that, but it feels like you're jumping off this cliff. And when you jump off this cliff, it's all foggy and you can't see anything. There's no logic. You're falling through this fog, and then the fog becomes thunderstorms, and you're getting hit by lightning, and it's -0 degrees, and you're getting hit by hail. But ultimately you keep falling and you keep falling. This is just in the mind that this is happening. The prison is not out there in the physical world. The prison is in our mind. But ultimately the clouds part, and you are looking for this ground that's going to hit you, and you're going to go splat and you're going to die. But you realize after a while there's no ground coming. And you realize, well, hang on a sec, if there's no ground coming and now there's no sky, what does that mean? I'm actually free.
Yeah.